welcome to my cooking show. I'm making lunch and breakfast for myself and the four-legged animal. And I figured I would make a quick video defending a movie that I think gets a bad rap. It's Three Men and a Little Lady. I'm not going to say I enjoy it more than the original, Three Men and a Baby, but I kind of do. I mean, there's elements of it that I kind of do. I remember seeing it with my dad in the theater, I believe November of '91 or so. And it really didn't do well financially. This is when I was just starting to chart the box office. I think it only made about 40 million or so, maybe even less. And the first one being a huge runaway hit, sold in close to like 40 million tickets or something if you do the math. Made I think 150 million, 170 million back in '87. And obviously there's a lot of remakes going on. They just announced they're going to do a female cliffhanger, which I predicted several years ago. Now they're talking about doing Three Men and a Baby in a really progressive and inclusive manner, where it will be, three non-binary people, I've heard, or three women and a baby, which is pretty odd because the idea is that these people are supposed to be the ones that don't want to have a kid or don't know anything about having a kid, and mothers in our non-progressive, politically correct world are more maternal, literally, by most society's standards. So it would be a little odd to see this new fangled vision of Three Men and a Baby. So I hope you all can hear me. I am making my breakfast, so welcome to the cooking channel here. But anyway, yeah, Three Men and a Little Lady. It gets a really bad rap. People just don't like it. I've heard some people say that the chemistry is off on the actors. They look like they don't want to be there. And I just don't get it. It's more of a romantic movie, obviously, between Tom Selleck's character and Nancy Travis, who plays an actress in the movie, and that's how she met Ted Danson, obviously, in the first one. And in this one, she's engaged or involved with this really snooty and rich British dude, and he basically wants to destroy her life, bring her to England, change everything she knows, and get her back into proper society, I guess you would say, instead of living with three unconventional men, having a relationship with one, possibly, and all that. Her mother also wants her to do all this and be more of a standard mother in England. She can't stand these three gentlemen that they live with. I really like the chemistry that they have with the child actress. I've heard the child actress get, unnecessarily criticized. I think she does pretty good in it. She was trying to go to sleep in this one part, and then they, what do? They do a rap. They perform a rap, and I always like that part. And then, there's some real slapstick or madcap type scenes in the second half that are not in Three Men and a Baby. In fact, the back half of Three Men and a Baby turns pretty fucking bleak. Let's just be honest. They basically kidnap or tie up a woman and try to find the drugs in an apartment and put the baby in a closet and all that. I find that to be, when you rewatch Three Men and a Baby, it being quite dark. The back half of the movie. Where Three Men and a Little Lady builds to what you would say is a rousing conclusion. And Wedding Crashers kind of, emulates the final scene in this movie. A lot of movies try to emulate this final scene in this movie. I find that, what Ted Danson does in the final act to be just fucking hilarious. I find Tom Selleck's adventures in the English countryside with the headmistress of a private school. I find those to be really entertaining. And doing my damnedest to defend one of my favorite comedies. I really do watch Three Men and a Little Lady, I think a little bit more than Three Men and a Baby. I enjoy both the movies quite a lot. And what I really like about Three Men and a Little Lady is the direction. Berlino directed Dirty Dancing, and he directed Sister Act, among many other films. And I think he does a really underrated job with this movie. I notice the trend sometimes for people just to bash the second movie in a series, such as Predator 2, FX2, Three Men and a Little Lady. Those all came out around the same time, and they get bashed pretty good, I've noticed. So this was a Touchstone movie by Disney, and I really do enjoy the sequel quite a lot. In fact, I remember giving it a 10 when I first saw it, and I think I still do. I mean, I don't really see any issue with the movie. It is a little weird how Nancy Travis succumbs to the pressure of her mother and her fiance and all that, but you can see someone doing that and deciding to turn their back on what they know. This three-father structure is a little bit odd, but yes, it does indeed work for them. And I would love to see, not necessarily a reboot of this, but an actual sequel. Where she's like getting married and maybe they're still involved in their life. Or some other plot. Maybe she's not getting married. Maybe she's, having more of an unconventional type life, and there they are still being her father, or in this point, grandfather to whoever she's raising. I don't know. I just feel that everyone turned their back on the idea of making a third one after the bad critical performance and all that, but it's like, who cares if critics like Three Men and a Baby 1 and they don't like Three Men and a Little Lady? I mean, I enjoy both the movies, but I feel that Three Men and a Little Lady is extremely underrated, and give a lot of respect to everyone that's in it. I don't know the child actress's name, but I'm sure she's been, I haven't seen her pop up in too many other movies after this, but I feel the production by Ted Field and Robert Court, they do a really good job. And, it's a remake of another French movie, because the French movie was so successful, they remade not only Three Men and a Baby, but they made, Three Men and a Little Lady. So, alright, well, I did my best. I highly recommend Three Men and a Baby, but then also, don't stop there. Go ahead and check out Three Men and a Little Lady as well. Bye for now, everybody.